That's the negative to a psychopath's mind.
The TV show Deadliest Catch has been airing for many years, offering viewers a glimpse into the perilous world of crab fishermen in Alaska. Over time, fans have become familiar with the brave men and women who risk everything at sea. But what's happened to these stars since their time on the show? Some are still out on the water, while others have pursued new ventures. Unfortunately, a few are no longer with us. Let's explore what the Deadliest Catch cast members are up to now. Number 12. Mike Fortner.
Like a few of our greenhorns we've had, you can be tough in town, you can take out...
Being a crab fisherman on the Deadliest Catch is a grueling and dangerous job. The weather is brutal, the seas are treacherous, and the physical demands are unrelenting. Mike Fortner, a veteran deckhand on the fishing vessel Time Bandit, was no stranger to the hardships of this dangerous profession. But eventually, the time came when Mike had to face the reality of the toll the job was taking on his personal life. The life of a crab fisherman is one of constant travel, with months spent at sea and only a brief window of time between the king crab and snow crab seasons. This leaves little room for anything else, making it nearly impossible to maintain relationships or have any sort of normal life outside of fishing. Mike, who had spent almost his entire life at sea, understood this sacrifice. But then, life threw him a curveball that changed everything. In 2013, Mike discovered that he and his wife, Lacey, were expecting twins. Suddenly, fatherhood became more important than fishing, and Mike realized he couldn't continue his life as a fisherman and still be the father he wanted to be. From 1998 to 2013, Mike had spent 10 months of every year out on the sea. But now, with children on the way, he knew he had to rethink his priorities. In the Season 9 finale, titled The Final Battle, Mike made a tearful announcement. He was retiring from the Time Bandit. In his own words, "I've never quit a job in my life. I'm leaving for a good reason, and I'm leaving on good terms. I want to be Mike, the good husband, and Mike, the good dad, not Mike from the Time Bandit." His decision to step away from the sea was one many fans found admirable and heroic. Although Mike was no longer out on the water as much, he didn't stray too far from the world of fishing. Using his expertise, he transitioned to a new career, taking a job with Cummins Sales and Service, where he now sells marine equipment across the West Coast, including Alaska. This new role allowed him to stay closer to home in Washington, where he could spend more time with his wife and daughters, who were involved in sports and staying active. Mike's commitment to his family and his new career showed that while he may have left the sea behind, his passion for the fishing world remained strong. Number 11. Scott Campbell, Jr.
I don't want to hear about your stomach. I want to know what's really going on.
Scott Campbell Jr. made his debut on the Deadliest Catch in Season 7 as the captain of the Seabrook. Growing up as the son of a fisherman, Scott had a natural connection to the sea. From a young age, he knew exactly what path his life would take, just like his father before him. So, when the opportunity to appear on the Deadliest Catch arose, he jumped at the chance without hesitation. What fans loved most about Scott was his infectious enthusiasm and competitive spirit. His drive and unique fishing strategies made him a standout on the show, keeping viewers hooked season after season. Fishing wasn't just a career for Scott, it was his passion, something he had been doing his whole life. When he was out on the open water, he felt more at home than he ever did on land. However, the physically demanding nature of being an Alaskan crab fisherman eventually took a toll on Scott's health. Over time, he developed chronic back pain, which made fishing for crabs and enduring the harsh conditions of the sea incredibly difficult. The constant sitting in the cramped wheelhouse or hanging on for dear life during storms became more and more challenging. But Scott was determined to push through. His dedication to the job kept him going until Season 10, when his physical limitations finally caught up with him. Many fans were heartbroken when he left the show, as his departure left a void that made The Deadliest Catch feel less thrilling. During his time on the show, Scott developed a loyal fan base, and was often considered one of the best fishermen by many viewers. For a while, it seemed as if Scott's health issues had put an end to his fishing career. However, Scott was never one to give up easily. In seasons 16 and 17, he made a surprise return to the show, first aboard the Seabrook and later on a new vessel, the Lady Alaska. During his time away from the sea, Scott ventured into business and became the owner and CEO of Cordova Coolers, now known as Cordova Outdoors. Based in Idaho, the company manufactures premium coolers, drinkware, and accessories. In 2018, Scott stepped down from his role at Cordova Outdoors and moved on to a new business venture, Beaver Creek Firewood, which he launched in 2023. Number 10. Wild Bill Witrowski.
The wheelhouse to the summer bag, quite a bit different, a lot nicer than
As one of the longest-standing captains on the Deadliest Catch, Wild Bill Witrowski is a legendary figure. He made his debut on the show in 2015, and since then, he's become one of the most beloved captains among fans. His skill at catching crabs, along with his ability to lead his crew out of dangerous situations, kept fans coming back season after season. With his quick thinking, love for adventure, and no-nonsense approach, Witrowski became a fan favorite. He's known for his resilience and ability to stay calm under pressure, something that many other captains couldn't always manage. For Wild Bill, safety was always the priority, and he wasn't afraid to put the crew's well-being above catching crabs. To many of the younger crabbers, Wild Bill is a role model, someone who made it through the cutthroat world of crabbing and survived to tell the tale. However, in 2023, towards the end of season 19, Wild Bill had a life-changing experience that left fans shocked. He announced that he had been diagnosed with prostate cancer, a devastating revelation for someone who had survived so much in the harsh environment of the Bering Sea. Fans were devastated by the news of his diagnosis, and many wondered how this would affect his future on the show. Wild Bill, however, continued to fight and remain active throughout season 20, showing the same tenacity that had made him a legend. He remained focused on his job, even as he dealt with the reality of cancer treatment. In 2024, Wild Bill made a triumphant return to the Deadliest Catch. His refusal to let cancer dictate his life and career was a testament to his resilience. On his social media, he shared updates on his progress and treatment, reassuring fans that he was staying strong. In early February 2025, he posted that he was cancer-free, with his doctors giving him positive reports. Number 9. Josh Harris.
8 fathoms worth of just red, and it was still reading the bottom.
Josh Harris, the brother of Jake Harris, made his debut on the Deadliest Catch in 2007 as a greenhorn on the Cornelia Marie. Josh's relationship with his brother Jake became one of the most memorable dynamics on the show, as the two worked together under the leadership of their father, Captain Phil Harris. After Phil's passing in 2010, Jake took over the role of captain, and Josh remained by his side. Josh became known as a dependable and capable crew member. His moments of brilliance and hard work were often highlighted on the show, and his relationship with Jake made for compelling television. In 2020, Josh got his own spin-off series, Deadliest Catch, Bloodline, where he sailed the Hawaiian Islands using his father's old fishing maps. The spin-off gave viewers a deeper look into Josh's journey and relationship with his father's legacy. However, in 2022, a dark chapter from Josh's past resurfaced. When Josh was a teenager, he was accused of sexually mistreating his neighbor's young daughter. The victim was only 4 years old at the time. Josh pled guilty, and the charges were reduced. As a result, Josh was sentenced to 60 days of confinement and 24 months of supervised release. The Discovery Channel quickly responded, dropping Josh from the upcoming season and canceling his spin-off series. His involvement in future episodes of Deadliest Catch was permanently halted, and he has since kept a low profile, avoiding any public appearances or social media activity. Number 8. Edgar Hansen, the sea's silent worker.
In the world that you're doing right now. sitting gear, bucking into 30-foot swell.
Edgar Hansen made his mark as a core crew member on Deadliest Catch, featuring in the very first episode. Starting as a deckhand, he later rose to become the deck boss and engineer aboard the Northwestern, working under his brother, Captain Sig Hansen. Over 9 seasons, Edgar proved his worth, mastering the art of fishing and playing a key role in maintaining the ship's efficiency. In Season 9, Edgar stepped up to take over for his brother as a relief captain, working alongside his niece, Mandy, to guide the crew of the Northwestern through some of the roughest waters. The Hansen duo was a fan favorite, with viewers watching in awe as they battled against the wild seas of Alaska for the crabs. Edgar's popularity soared beyond the show, and he even appeared on other reality shows, including This Old House and Cash Cab. However, in 2018, Edgar's career faced a major setback when he was charged with sexually mistreating a teenage girl in Florida. He pleaded guilty, was fined, and received a suspended sentence. Despite avoiding jail time, Deadliest Catch made the decision for him to step away from the show. After Season 14, Edgar's name was no longer listed as a cast member, and he has kept a very low profile ever since, rarely making public appearances or being active on social media. Number 6. Jason King, a short and troubling stint.
The weather sucked.
Jason King, known as Tennessee after his hometown, became a brief yet memorable part of Deadliest Catch during Season 11. His appearance was short-lived, but his past quickly made him a controversial figure. As one of the deckhands aboard the Cornelia Marie, King's fame didn't come from any heroic deeds. Rather, it was due to his criminal history, which became widely known after his short stint on the show. 2 years after his appearance, in 2017, King was arrested in his hometown of Counce, Tennessee, when authorities found 14 pounds of marijuana hidden under his house and a pistol in his kitchen. Already having a criminal record, King's legal troubles were far from over. In 2018, he was sentenced to 51 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. Despite his brief appearance on the show, the news of his arrest and conviction remained tied to his time on Deadliest Catch, ensuring his legacy in the series would always be overshadowed by his troubled past. Number 5. Zach Larson, leaving the shadow of his father.
This young girl on deck trying to keep up with some of these.
In the world of crab fishing, family dynamics are often at the forefront of the drama, and Zach Larson's time on Deadliest Catch is no exception. Joining his father, Captain Wild Bill Witrowski on the Kodiak in Season 6, Zach started as a greenhorn, but quickly rose through the ranks to become a deckhand and later the engineer. Despite spending so much time working alongside his father, Zach and Wild Bill's relationship was far from perfect. Bill's eccentric personality often overshadowed Zach's efforts, leading to constant tension between the two. In 2019, after years of working under his father's watchful eye, Zach decided it was time to break free. He left the Kodiak and moved to the Brenna A, captained by Sean Dwyer, where he had a breakthrough. It was here that Zach realized his passion for cod fishing, a stark departure from the family tradition of crab fishing. Zach soon became the captain of the Eleanor J, a boat owned by Sean Dwyer, and has been working as a cod fisherman ever since, finally stepping out of his father's shadow and following his own path in the fishing world. Number 4. Elliot Neese, the troubled captain.
You have to know that there's a line you cannot cross.
Elliot Neese, known for his aggressive and often villainous behavior, made his debut on Deadliest Catch as the captain of the Ramblin' Rose in Season 7. Later, he transitioned to his own vessel, which he named the Saga. Neese quickly became infamous for his combative and authoritarian personality, constantly searching for conflict, often creating it when he couldn't find any. He admitted later that much of his dramatic behavior was for the benefit of the cameras, aiming to keep the show's excitement level high. However, as his substance abuse became evident, many started questioning his actions. In the midst of season 11, Nice left his crew and vessel to check into a rehab facility. While trying to address his personal issues, Nice's life was spiraling further, with legal problems piling up. In 2019, investigators raided his Alaskan home, uncovering narcotics and paraphernalia for drug dealing, along with a significant amount of money hidden away. Nice confessed to being involved in drug dealing, claiming to be part of a network that distributed opiates and amphetamines across the Kenai Peninsula. For this, he was sentenced to a short prison term, but was released on probation. Yet, his battle with addiction remained strong. In 2022, he tested positive for drugs, violating his probation. This resulted in a 30-month prison sentence, marking another dark chapter in his life. Number 3. Joshua Tell Warner, the infamous greenhorn. Joshua Tell Warner's time on Deadliest Catch is one of the most daring stories, not because of his skills at sea, but because of his criminal past. Warner made his debut in Season 5 as a greenhorn on the Wizard. While his crewmates welcomed him aboard, they had no idea that Warner had a much darker side. He was a bank robber. In 2007, Warner had robbed a bank in Oregon, but he wasn't done yet. In 2009, while Deadliest Catch was airing, he returned to Oregon, robbed the same bank, and then did it again 3 weeks later. His criminal activity was later revealed when he boasted about it to his fellow crew members, though they initially dismissed it as a tall tale. In December 2009, Warner was finally caught and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Since then, Warner has remained out of the public eye. He avoids social media, and no one is sure of his current whereabouts or whether he's still incarcerated. His time on Deadliest Catch was short, but his criminal actions have ensured his legacy with the show is far from positive. Number 2. Sig Hansen, a true pioneer of the sea.
That's the negative to a psychopath's mind.
Sig Hansen, the heart and soul of Deadliest Catch, has been a legendary figure in the Bering Sea for over 2 decades. His calm, traditional approach to fishing, relying more on instinct and maps than technology, has earned him respect not just from his crew, but from fans around the world. Sig's leadership on the Northwestern has been exemplary, proving time and again that he's a skilled captain who deeply values his crew's safety and well-being. However, Sig's life hasn't been without its challenges. A few years ago, he suffered a heart attack, an experience that deeply shook both his family and his fans, as he had always been the larger-than-life figure on the show. Fortunately, he was at home when it happened, and his wife June acted quickly, getting him to the hospital in time. Doctors confirmed the heart attack was caused by blocked arteries, and Sig underwent an angioplasty to clear the blockage. In 2018, Sig faced another heart attack, complicating his health even further. But instead of succumbing to these health setbacks, Sig made the decision to live a healthier life. He quit smoking and drinking, which helped him recover and continue his career. As he moves forward, Sig's daughter, Mandy, has begun taking on more responsibilities aboard the Northwestern, preparing for the day she might take over. For now, Sig is still at the helm, managing his health while continuing to lead the Northwestern. Number 1. Jake Anderson, the sea's reluctant hero.
Losing this crab right now after the bin board's rolling around.
Jake Anderson's journey on Deadliest Catch has been both a triumph and a tragedy. Growing up in Anacortes, Washington, surrounded by generations of fishermen, Jake's life was always meant to be tied to the sea. He started fishing at a young age, and by 17, he was already fishing salmon in Bristol Bay, Alaska. By 20, he was working on a trawler, and at 25, he took on pot fishing before eventually becoming a greenhorn on the Northwestern. Jake's personality and charm made him a fan favorite, and his rise through the ranks, from greenhorn to deckhand, was inspiring. Eventually, he became the deck boss under Captain Sig Hansen. But behind the smile, Jake faced personal battles. He struggled with alcohol dependency, and his problems deepened after the tragic loss of his uncle, Brian Mavar, who had introduced him to the world of crab fishing. To make matters worse, Jake also lost his sister, Chelsea Dawn Anderson, and his father in a tragic accident. These losses took a toll on him, leading Jake to confront his addiction. He stepped away from the show to seek help and regain control of his life. By the time he returned to Deadliest Catch, his vessel, the Saga, had been repossessed due to financial struggles. Jake returned to the Northwestern as a crew member, but his story wasn't just about his fishing career, it was about overcoming personal demons. Jake later wrote a book titled Relapse, which chronicles his battle with addiction and his journey to sobriety. Jake's story on Deadliest Catch is one of resilience, not just in the fishing industry, but in life itself. Deadliest Catch is a gripping reality show set in the Bering Sea, known for its freezing waters, massive waves, and relentless storms. Named after Danish explorer Vitus Bering, this treacherous sea has claimed countless fishermen and ships. The Bering Sea's shallow seabed creates huge swells, while frozen parts of the sea break into large, unpredictable ice chunks that can easily damage ships. These conditions make crab fishing one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. Despite the constant danger, the Bering Sea's rich marine life continues to draw fishermen back, with crabs, fish, and orcas thriving in the waters. The reward of a big catch comes with the risk of injury or worse. Deadliest Catch shows more than just fishing. It reveals the personal struggles of the crews, stress, exhaustion, injuries, and the toll life at sea takes on their bodies and minds. Over 20 seasons, fans have witnessed both the triumphs and tragedies of these brave fishermen. The show has become a story of survival, sacrifice, and the harsh reality of fishing in one of the toughest environments. But over time, some fishermen have moved on, while others tragically passed away. Viewers are left wondering what happened to their favorite stars and how they are doing after such a dangerous career. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Before you leave, check out the other videos on your screen.